Good afternoon, traders. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's live trading and backtesting. I cannot wait to share the next half hour with you. We're going to be focusing on literally how to build a quantifiable, measurable trading edge in the market. But I need you to do me a favor. I need you to go to the chat box right now. I need you to put in two things. I need you to put in the stock that you nailed this week. This has been a tough week, right? This has been the choppiest week from hell with all kinds of stuff going on. And maybe you did great. I didn't. That's okay. That's part of trading. So I want you to go into the chat, put in your number one stock that you made the most money on this week, the one that you're bragging about, right? The one that you're super proud of. But I also want you to put in the stock that you didn't do so great on, the stock that took your lunch money, in other words, right? The stock where you're like, I didn't mean to do that one. Can I get a do-over, right? Can I get my money back and try that one more time? So go to the chat, do that right now as we get into today's live trading and backtesting.
This is the How to Trade Stocks and Options podcast, brought to you by 10MinuteStockTrader.com, where we cover finance, stocks, options, entrepreneurship, education, and money. And here's your host, voted one of the top 100 people in finance, Christopher Uhl.
Hey there, traders. My name is Christopher Uhl. I am from 10MinuteStockTrader.com, and that's where we take the guesswork out of trading in only 10 minutes a day. Now, I'll mention this more later on, but I actually want to send you a free copy of my newest book. It just came out last week called The Secret Investing Book. If you are interested in getting a paper copy, not a digital download, but a real copy in your hands for free on my dime, stay to the end. I'll tell you exactly how to get one of those. But as we get into it, I don't see very many comments here. Let's blow up the chat box. Tell me what you made the most money on. Tell me what took your lunch money, and let's have a discussion about it. Speaking of having a discussion, let's have a discussion of the fact that we're about to see a death cross in the SPY. We already had a death cross in the Qs. We had that about a week and a half ago. I guess what day was that on? February 18th. We had a death cross. Now, granted, a death cross doesn't mean all that much. It just means that the 50-day is now lower than the 200-day. And we're looking to have that pretty darn soon in the SPY. But keep in mind, an indicator or a death cross or anything like that is just a data point, right? That's just data. There are traders who trade exclusively on this. So they are waiting and watching. And once this happens, they will pounce. I don't know if they're going to be bullish. I don't know if they're going to be bearish, but I do know one thing. This market is sick beyond belief. And it can't even figure out which way it's going to be sick at, right? It's going down. It's going up. I don't know. And by the way, I always like to preface this as we get into it, right? I am not a perma bear, perma bull, or perma anything. I'm an opportunist. And I hope you are the same way too. Because if you're a perma anything in this market, you're going to get toasted. Oh, hey, Isaac, how are you, man? Isaac is one of my 10-minute stock traders. He's part of the 10-minute stock trading community. He joins me every day live as we trade in the 10-minute trading room. Isaac, I am so glad you're here. I don't know how in the world the internet works all the way between here and Alaska where he's at. All right, so we have got a bunch of people in the chat now blowing it up. Thank you so much, everybody, for your participation. I will do my very best to get through as many of these as we can. And let's get busy. All right, first, Aaron, you're on deck, man. Aaron is looking at InLock first. Now, I'm going to clean up my charts, and I'm just going to have one line on here. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a very simple back test. This back test is just entering and exiting following the 10-day exponential moving average. Now, a 10-day exponential moving average is the sign of a strong trend, up or down. We're indifferent to that, but we're going to follow this blue line here on the chart. So I'm going to go into my strategy tester, and I'm going to type it in, and I'm going to let you follow along. Let me make this bigger here. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a parameter of condition price close. So we're only trading at the end of the day. Less than indicator of the 10-day exponential moving average. Now let's go to our exit criteria. We're going to say condition, price, close, greater than indicator 10-day. What this means to you is entering when price goes above the blue line, exiting when price goes below the blue line. Simple, simple, simple strategy. And then we're going to add this to 1,000 candles. Now, I like to go 1,000 candles because that gives us recent data. That's about 4 years of data without being really, in my opinion, you can go too far back and you can get too many data points that aren't reflective of today, right? I don't need to go back to the 1987 crash. That's not going to really have that much of an impact into 2022 markets. So I'm going to look over the last 1,000 candles because that's the most recent data, and that's really what we're going to find out. Okay. Now, interesting here. This shows a 7% return. So keep in mind the way that this works. The stock has gone up 83%. The strategy has underperformed that stock at 7%. As long as I put it in correctly, let me make sure. No, I did it wrong. I said less than. It should be greater than. I did it backwards. Give me a second here. Add a parameter, condition, price, close, greater than indicator 10. There we go. Sorry, I totally had it backwards. Condition, price, close, less than indicator 10. That'll give us different results. All right. So the stock, which you can only keep in mind, 1,000 candles ago, this started the back test. And up to today, the stock is up 83%. Now that's throwing a dart 1,000 candles ago and seeing what happens. Having the control of a strategy, entering and exiting, following one simple line here, would give you a net return of 69.98%. So a 70% return following the strategy. That really works on this stock. So Aaron, that's a good one there. And when you see this blue cloud going out into the future, that shows this is a valid open back test right now. So if you're not following this strategy, consider checking it out, man. That's a good one there. Let's go to Para, P-A-R-A. All right. So this one, man, this is why we back test right here. So the stock is down 37%. The stock is down 37% from entry 1,000 candles ago. But the strategy has returned 126%. That's astronomical. That's a huge, huge win right there. 126% versus negative 37. That's why you backtest. Now, obviously, past performance is not indicative of future results, but daggone, that's a good one right there. Aaron, very good. Aaron, I got to tell you, I blew up the chat on me here, but I got you. Don't worry. Ooh, this one's even better. Check it out. I don't know or RMP, but I don't need to because when I look at the backtest, man, this is crazy. The stock's up 35%. Following the strategy, it's up 331%. Daggum. That's a good one, right? Now listen, when you follow a strategy like this, you miss these ugly moves. When you trend follow and let the market tell you where it's going to go, you miss the 64% down move. And you get to keep the 331% profits right there. Tell you what, it doesn't always work that great, but when it does, that's pretty darn sweet. That was a good one, Aaron. Lastly, SLGG. Okay, here's a great example too, right? The stock is down 79%. The strategy's down 81%. Yeah, SLGG, that's a hard one to work with right there. Plus, it gets in the penny stock realm at $2.21. Sometimes penny stocks behave a little differently than a big cap stock. So, Aaron, thank you for that. You kind of blew it up, dude. All right, Mondo, MNDO. Let's take a look at DBC first. Oh, what is this? Is a commodity fund. Yeah, commodities have been off the charts with this whole Russia thing. And so 52% for DBC on its own, 80% following the strategy. As you can see here, that just rocket shipped, right? That's why we trend trade, to let it tell us where it's going, and we can just follow along the whole way. That was a good one there. Let's do MTL. Ooh, yikes. That one burns. Now, the stock's down 51% in the last 1,000 candles. The strategy is up 4.5. If that doesn't convince you to just take 10 minutes, backtest your stock, make sure it's going to work in your strategy. I don't know what does, right? The stock's down by half. This strategy's up 5%, which isn't much, but it sure is a hell of a lot more than negative 51%. Mondo, thanks for that. Aaron, I already got 4 of yours, so I'm going to skip your last one. No offense, but I want to hang out with Daniel right now. Daniel, how are you, sir? Daniel came to my webinar last week, I think, FCEL. I love giving live webinars. It's so much fun. Wow, look at FCEL. Look at this is the best daggum. All right. Daniel, I don't know if this is going to be the gold star of the day, but I bet it will be. Negative 71% on the stock. So the stock's down 71% since 1,000 candles. The strategy is up 976%. Forget what I said earlier about that if that doesn't teach you how to trend follow. Look at this, right? Now, keep in mind, too, this has a 26% win rate. Pause for dramatic effect. This has a 26% win rate. If I told you that I knew a way to have 4 losers to every 1 winner, but yet my strategy would have a 900% return, you wouldn't believe me. You wouldn't believe it, but I just showed you. That's what we do at 10minutesstocktrader.com. That's why it matters so much to pay attention to the data. That was a good one there, Daniel. Now, Upstart. This is one that my friend Mark Minervini, I did it wrong, UPSD, there it is. He was on TV and the audio cut out and everything else, and that turned into a whole internet meme. But yeah, I know Minervini personally. He's a great guy. So yeah, I just think it's funny, that whole situation there. But this one, the stock's up 471%. The strategy's up 467%. These are monster numbers. Monster numbers. And when you follow a strategy like this, right, when you let the market tell you when a trend is over, you get to skip. You get to skip these big ugly moves here, 57% down moves. You get to skip those. Let's go to Blink, BLNK. All right, let's take a look at Blink. This backtest is open right now with a strong, strong result. However, be mindful, earnings are coming up. Earnings, they're the great, we have no idea equalizer. Daniel, how are you finding these monster returns here? 700% on the stock, 500% on the strategy. Daniel, way to go, dude. These are huge. Thank you so much for that, Daniel. Let's go on to Isaac. Isaac is talking about PTO. PTO. Hang on. Where did that go? PTO. Okay. Maybe I missed something. Let's look at Peloton. That's one that Isaac and I are in right now. Now, this is really interesting. So I'm in this short Peloton, but following this strategy going long, we would have a 1.78% return on the stock versus negative 4.87% if you were going long. Well, like I say, I'm going short. I'm going short Peloton, but keep in mind something real quick. Now, I know this is going to get busy, but I just want you to look at the shape of this. Look at its round tripped, right? It had its initial COVID launch. Basically, you want to think of it like that. From, let's call it $23 all the way up to $162, and now it's back to 26. So yeah, being mindful. If you're still holding Peloton from 2 years ago, that trade life cycle is over, all the way over. So be mindful of that. Isaac, thanks, dude. All right. Daryl's talking about how he did good at MTTR. Take a look at this. So this is Matterport. So let's see. Matterport right now, following the strategy, negative 27% on the stock, positive 0.97, but that's still positive expectancy. That's still a positive return on here. Daryl, yeah, this one also round tripped pretty hard too, didn't it? Absolutely. Now let's take a look at Cavill. KAVL. This is Innovations Group Inc. Okay. Let's throw lots of buzzwords. Innovations, brands, things like that. All right. Ooh, this one's kind of crazy. So this shows a 15,788% return on the stock. I don't know. This must have been like reverse split or something. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, Daryl, while I would love to give you good results on this, I don't trust that data. So I'm gonna move on from that. Whomper up around 900% on the week. All right, let's take a look at this. Oh, RSX. This is Russia. Yeah. Yeah. Yikes. Now the back test isn't great, but there's times where a back test doesn't even matter, right? Back test does not matter when the stock is down 78% in a week and there's a war going on. Yeah, that's a good one. Pretty risky holding to see what happens tomorrow. Dude, um, yeah, this whole market is crazy and risky right now. Thank you for that. All right, who's next? If you haven't already, by the way, I'm going to make a call to action real quick. If you have not smashed like, go ahead and do that right now. It's down below this video. It looks like this. Smash it. That lets Benzinga know that you appreciate this kind of content. You also are a data-driven trader like me who wants to know what's working in today's markets, and that's why you hit the like. Now, also, if I have gone over a stock of yours and you have not smashed like, you owe me. You owe me big, but I got you. Don't worry. All right, so BNZNB Trading says banked on SoFi and triple U's, but BFLY killed me. So let's take a look at each one of these. SoFi Technologies. Remove all annotations here. Okay. SoFi is up 17% in the last 1,000 candles. The strategy, though, it's pretty flat, negative 82 basis points. So yeah, when that happens, you just take a look at it and you say, okay, well, if 10 days doesn't work, how about 5 days? If 5 days doesn't work, what about 15 days? If that doesn't work, what about 50? You just play with it. You see what works. And then you have a solid, back-tested, proven edge in the market that most people don't even understand what we're talking about here. You do, because you're different. Whoa! Triple U. What is Triple U? Universal Security Instruments. I'm guessing that this is not talking about trombones, but it could be. I don't know. Let's take a look. All right. So this is up 159% in the last 1,000 candles, yet down 45% following the strategy. So yeah, the strategy doesn't work for this, but that's okay because there's lots of different strategies you can use. And now let's look at BFLY. BFLY. So this one, yeah, it's been in a pretty substantial downtrend, up from 1279 down to 448. I assume that you were trading this long just based on your response here that it killed you. And that's okay. It happens, man. Don't worry about it. Negative 51% on the stock, negative 29% on the back test. Definitely not one that would work in this scenario, but that's okay. That's part of trading. All right, M Nice. Oxy is my best, but DVN has been frustrating. I know what you mean, man. OXY. I have 3 minutes left of backtesting. So if you have not put yours in the chat, nail it right now, quickly, and smash like while you're down there. Occidental Petroleum, down 24% on the stock, yet up 37% on the strategy. That's a good one. And it's open. And right now, with all this Russia stuff going on, this could be a monster winner, M Nice. All right, let's go to DVN. DVN, clearly I traded that one. Let me remove my annotations here. All right. 83% on the stock, 177% on the back test. That's juicy. 177% on the back test. And this is an open back test right now. This is a valid current signal. Listen, I'm not saying that it's going to hit 70, but it could. The data shows that it could. So yeah, that's a good one there. Last person. By the way, Daniel says he learned a lot on the webinar. Cool, man. You're awesome. Cool. All right, let's see. Daryl says, thanks, Christopher. You are welcome. Elon's here. You purchased. All right, Elon, just cause it's you, you're gonna be my last one. All right, so for Google, now this is gonna have a 20-to-1 share split at some point. I don't know the date of that. Really doesn't matter. We're only going to trade what's on the chart right now. 135%, but you will not believe following this 10-day strategy, it's down 18%. It's a surprise, huge surprise. Now, Elon, you're saying you purchased the 3,200 strike, I assume calls for 715. I mean, what's my thoughts on this? Let me add some more indicators here. Let me add some other trend lines. I'm just going to add the 200 and the 50. I would assume that you bought the 3,200 calls, and right now it's under the 200 day, which is a bearish sign. It's under the 50 day, which is a bearish sign. And it's just starting to flirt with staying above the 10 day. For me, that's not a trade I would make, but it could work out great for you. I hope it does. Okay, cool. So that is the very last one that I can backtest right now, but I do have something special for you, and that's our final thoughts. Nothing matters in this market unless you got your trade psychology right. So let's talk about that. So if you are enjoying this, be sure to smash like, all right? But what I want to talk to you about right now, and this is so critically important here, is in due time, your results are going to come together despite short-term losses here and there, because trade after trade, stay laser focused on making decisions that have a positive expectancy. I literally just gave you 25 minutes of positive expectancies. So take that, use them, learn more about them, see how you can use this in your trading, right? Positive expectancies. That makes life way easier. If I have the confidence of putting on a trade and I know that historically this trade has performed in this way, history doesn't always repeat itself. Past performance is not indicative of future results, as they say, but history does rhyme. So that can give you some confidence as you go into a trade. Now, speaking of confidence, I want to really share with you something pretty awesome. I just released this book last week. You can get a free copy. I did buy these copies, and I am sending them to people, but you have to go tell me your address. The way that you tell me your address is by going to secretinvestingbook.com. Tell me your address. I will ship you this paperback version of this book that I wrote. There's my face on the back. Last week, it just came out, and I want to send this to you for free. Now, the way you do it is by going to secretinvestingbook.com, and I would love to share this with you. Thank you so much, Benzinga. Thank you so much for everybody who's on the line here. Mr. Money Mitch is up next, and he is going to be interviewing somebody very famous, very important. So if you are not tuned in, make sure you do so. Thank you, everybody, for coming today. Please be sure to smash like. Let Benzinga know you enjoyed this. Go get your free copy at secretinvestingbook.com. I'll see you here next week.
This is the How to Trade Stocks Options podcast, brought to you by 10MinuteStockTrader.com,